Rahman Rahim, fellow Gambians, blessed Eid greetings to all. As we celebrate this great and joyous day in the Muslim calendar, marking the end of a month-long period of fasting and devotion, I pray for Allah's infinite mercy and blessings be bestowed on all of us. This year's Ramadan coincided with the advent of Lent, which is a holy month, which is a holy period for our Christian brethren, and to them I send greetings and sincere salutations and wish them all the best. For both faiths, the holy months we just exited offer an opportunity for prayer, reflection, and striving for the blessings of Allah. May all our prayers be answered so that our diverse people continue to live in peace and harmony, and our shared goal of a Gambia that is free, democratic, and forward-looking is realized. I humbly ask Gambians of all faith to remember in their prayers our brothers and sisters in Sudan, in other conflict-ridden areas of the world, and in Palestine, against whom a brutal and relentless war of aggression is being waged for the last 6 months. We grieve for the deaths of tens of thousands of civilians and the vicious destruction of hospitals, mosques, and civilian homes. We stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine in their justified claims to their ancestral lands and their rights as a people to live in peace and dignity in their own homeland. My compatriots, this is time for all of us to take a stock of where things stand with us as individuals and collectively as a nation. Where are we as a country? And more importantly, where are we heading to in a fast-changing world? The answers to these two basic questions are that as a country, we are failing and heading in the wrong direction. Our current predicament didn't happen in a vacuum. It is the predictable outcome of a failure of leadership and all the attendant consequences. We are all witnesses to the acute and high cost of living in the country, and this is getting worse every day. Many are finding it hard to provide basic meals for their families. This has been made more glaring in the just ended month of Ramadan, with our friends, neighbors, and families scrambling to prepare decent iftar. Another example is that in the not too distant past, the President proposed and convened what was billed as a national dialogue to discuss, quote unquote, our collective responsibility in preserving the nation, safeguarding the state, and securing our resources. That the President, who has been in charge of the country for 7 years, is calling for a dialogue on what are essentially core functions of the very government he leads is illustrative of the magnitude of the failure he is presiding over. To invite his political competitors to give condensed few-minute speeches in this event cannot be termed as a serious national dialogue. It is closer to a televised gimmickry disguised as a serious and sincere conversation about a nation facing serious challenges. I call on the President to wake up to the deep and serious problems our country faces. Foremost is the need for him to dial down and abandon the deep, bitter, and dangerous polarization he and his allies have injected into the politics of this country, of this nation. A call for national unity from a government that has fractured and deeply divided communities and even families in the pursuit of political power will ring hollow unless Gambians see and verify a clear change of direction, starting with the President himself down to the last person in his government. I also call on the President to wake up to the existential threat drug poses to our country. Drugs and its use are taking roots in our society, destroying our youths and corrupting our governance infrastructure. Drugs and drug use directly cause crime rates to go up in any society. They are prevalent. Nothing comes closer to national emergency than this menace. It is urgent the President convenes an interagency task force comprising of DLAG, the police, the military, SIS, other law enforcement agencies, local councils, religious leaders, and world-level volunteers tasked exclusively to tackling drugs and its effects. In a similar vein, I urge the President to recognize the existence of a cancer that is consuming his administration. That is corruption. Institutional thieves are on the rampage across all sectors of government, and a pernicious sense of impunity is also setting in because people believe stealing public funds is normal and culprits can expect no adverse consequences. Audit reports being relegated to mere opinions and soon ignored. Outright cases of theft, corruption, contract fraud have all become the norm. All this contribute to economic stagnation and governance failure, and they impose the kind of terrible difficulties our citizens face in their daily lives. Fellow Gambians, the fate of our farmers should trouble everyone with a conscience. Farmers have been left high and dry with little or no support in inputs. Even when they strive against tremendous odds to cultivate their groundnuts, this uncaring government just ignores them